Hello everyone, my name is Hayomide Emmanuel Agbola. I'm documenting my data analytics learning and this is my second video. In this video, we'll be talking about foreign key and constraints like enum and unique. Foreign key, let's see it as a someone that is in the USA and is from Nigeria. So the ties that bring that person back to Nigeria is the key between them. Or for instance, maybe someone that is a Nigerian and another person, an American that is coming together to get married is also an example of foreign key that is relevant both in America and also relevant in Nigeria. The relationship between them that is bringing them together is the key. That marriage that is bringing them together is the key. And also enum is like picking one out of many options. It's either you take rice or you take beans. You can't take the two or you can't go back to bed without eating. And the next one we're going to be talking about is unique. Unique is like an NIN in Nigeria that is not peculiar with another person, one person per one NIN. So I've done about three values in this our last BOs table where I inserted three values for three BOs, for instance, so we can see how these things work together. So these are the tables and these are the rows that I have created for the table. So let's quickly go into it and see how all these things I've explained, the enum, unique, and foreign key work in SQL. So I'll be starting by writing the comment, and I said if you are starting the comment, we're going to start with dash dash. So I'll be saying foreign key table. So that's what I'll be creating today, foreign key table. So that's telling the SQL that I'm writing the comments there, foreign key table, which is a title for this my new video, and I will create table BRMs. To create table BRMs means business relationship managers. And I said if you are creating a table, you open a bracket first. That's the bracket, and I will insert all the information I want to see in my BRMs table, which is something like BRM ID integer. And I also said I like using auto increment. So auto increment, I put my comma and I go to the next line. BRM name, it will be voucher because it is letters. We have voucher. I'm going to be having the character number 2. I'll be using 30 and I will close the bracket and end it with my comma and go to the next line. I'm sure we all know why I'm going to this next line. So to make your query neat and readable. And the next one is age. I'll be using int because age is numbers. So I'll put my comma and go to the next line. Okay, and the next column that I want to see is gender. This gender, I'll be using one on the constraint and I mentioned earlier, which is enum. Here, I want to see either male or female. I don't want to see other. I don't want to see any other thing than male or female. So that is what enum means. You must pick one and you cannot leave it blank. So I'm picking is either male or female. So that's what I put in the bracket. I'm telling the database that this is what I want to see in my output. I put my comma and the next one is the location. And this location too, I'll be using another constraint which is unique. So location is varchar too. The data type is varchar because it is words. So I'll be using 30 characters and unique. I don't want to see any duplicate location. One location per one BRM. That is what that means. And the next one I'll be having is the BOID. Is the BOID. The BOID, that's the BO I want to invite from their table to this new table. So, and this the only way I can invite them is through their ID. So the BOID will be also in this table. And I will have my primary key. Like I said earlier, primary key is very important, and that is why we always use the one that is the ID. So it will be peculiar with one person. So that's the BRM ID as my primary key. You can also write a primary key in front of your BRM ID up there, like I just did now. Primary key, you can also put it there, but I like putting my own like this because I don't like my query to be too long. So the next thing I'll be doing here also is my foreign key. I'll be having my foreign key, and this is the invited guest from other table. So that is the BOID. So I won't just write it like that. I will have to tell my database that this is where I'm inviting this key from. I'm inviting it. That means the word we're going to be using is references. I'm referencing the BO table to come and pay me a visit in this BRM table. That's what that means. So we are bringing it from the BO table. We are going to close all the bracket and you put your semicolon. And can you see that we don't have anything like BRM in our schema? So we're going to run here. So after running, you go and refresh in your schema, and we can see that we have BRM table in my schemas now. So that's how we're going to create our table. And before we move on, let's go and select all to see what we just did in our table. So let's just see our table. Let's see this skeleton table that we just made. So, okay, we're going to run it to see. That's what we just did: BRM ID, BRM name, age, gender, location, and BOID. So that's the table. Now we are going to insert values in this new table. And to start with, I'm going to write insert into BRMs. That's the name of the table. I'm going to open a bracket, or what I want to see in the table, which is the columns. I will go up there to bring them down. So I'm going to start with BRM ID. BRM ID. We have the BRM name. The next one is the age. The next one is gender. We have location. BOID, and I'm going to close the bracket, and I'm now moving down to write the values. So these are the values I want to see in all these columns up here. So I also open another bracket again and insert the values. So I'll be having BO number 1, the name of the BRM number 1, the name of the BRM, Alice. The next one will be age, the age of the BRM, let's say 30. The next one will be gender of the BRM, it is female. And the next one will be the location of the BRM. Let's use Abuja. Abuja as the location of the BRM. And the BOID, we have 3 BOs and we have 1, 2, 3 for their ID. So let's pick one and let's run this. We're going to run it. Yes, let's go and check from our table if what we have done is in the table already. Yes, can we see now that we have it in the table? We have 1 Alice, 30 female Abuja, and 1 BOID. So the next thing we are going to be doing is our auto increment, how we use auto increment and how it works in SQL. So we have auto increment. That's a comment I'm writing there. You start your comment with dash dash. That's another way of writing comment also, but this is one of the, I think, the major one they do. Okay, I'm going to be copying this and paste here. I copied and I paste. I'm going to be raising the BRM ID because I want to use my auto increment to increase that BRM ID automatically. And if I leave it there and write just the values I want to see, it will not return any result. So that's why I'm erasing that BRM ID. We have the BRM name to be John. We have and the age to be 24. The gender is male. The gender male. The location is Lagos. And BOID, one of the numbers that we have for our BOs, BOID 2. So we run again and see. Okay, we just run this now. Now let's go and check again if what we, okay. Now, can we see that it automatically put the 2 there? And we have John 24 male Lagos 2. So that is it. The next one we'll be having is the constraints. That's we are starting with enum. I said enum here is you picking one out of many options, and you cannot leave it or you replace the one given to you with another option. So I'll be opening the bracket by having the values. So I'll be starting with, let's say, BRM number 3, John is number 2, BRM number 3, the name of the BRM, Ade, the BRM age 27, the BRM gender is male, BRM gender male, location, BRM gender, okay, BRM gender order, BRM gender order, we have location to be Enugu, location Enugu, and the BOID, the BOID to be 1, we close the bracket, we put a semicolon, and we run again. So let's see what happened in this. We are using something that is not in our enum in the table over there. So let's see. So can we see that it says data truncated for column gender at row 1. So it means that what the gender we are putting up there, we don't have the value that we're supposed to have in the values down there. So that's what that means. The next one we're going to be having is unique. Unique says I want to see just single something for single row. I don't want to see repeated one. That's what unique means. So here we're going to be having 4, BRM number 4. The name of the BRM, let's say Mary. Mary is the name of the BRM. We are going to be having Mary as a name. The age 30. The gender female. The gender is female. So I'll be repeating the same location as one of the location I used earlier. Let's say Abuja. Abuja is the location. The BOID. The BOID is 2. Close the bracket and let's run. Close the bracket and let's run so we can see what bug that will come out. Okay, it says duplicate entry Abuja for key BRM location. It's now saying, it's telling us that it's a duplicate because we say it must be unique. Let's go up there to check. Can we see that we have Abuja for Alice, one of the BRMs? So it can't repeat itself again. It's another location we must use for the new rows because of the unique. Let's go to the table and see. Can we see that we say location voucher 30 and it must be unique? So that's what it means, and that's why it's giving us that bug. And then the last one I'll be looking at is the foreign key itself, how foreign key works. So let's see how foreign key works in tables and in SQL. So let's insert into the values of BRM's table. So let's say BRM number 5. We're having, the name should be David. David is the name. The age, let's say 40. 40 for the age. Male for the gender. Male for gender. Let's say Ondo for the location. Ondo. Location Ondo. Ondo location. And I will be using one of I'll be using number that is not in our BO's number. So let me just use 10. I'll be using 10. We don't have BOs up to 10. We just have 3. So let's see. Let's run it and see what it will give us. So we can see that it says constraint BRM. It says cannot add or update a child row. A foreign key constraint failed. Yes, we can see that it throws an error that says cannot add or update a child row. A foreign key constraint fails. So it is working according to what we said earlier to the table. See you all in the next video. Thank you very much.